honor to introduce, in the lower right corner of the map, the player spawning red, spawning Terran. It is Seexking, aka Dragon.
And his opponent, spawning in the upper left-hand corner of the map. He is in the royal blue trunks. It is the GSL Super Tournament champion, currently playing out of Austin, Texas, none other than Polt. And I should mention, Rifkin, Polt is sponsored by CM Storm. You could follow him on Twitter at CM Storm Polt, and you could follow his opponent Dragon here at SE2 Dragon TV.
Man, oh man, guys, check out their streams as well. People probably link them in chat. There's the Reddit thread as well. I don't actually know what they are off the top of my head, but both these guys stream pretty frequently. We all know Dragon's on almost 24/7. Polt, though, a lot of people don't realize he is streaming a lot more recently. Do you check both of them out? Make sure to give them some love.
Rifkin, I've got exciting news because Polt is not only streaming, he's got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PoltSE2. I'm about to start hosting his VODs on SE2 links as well. Imagine that, him just uploading his best games to YouTube and you being able to watch it anytime you want.
People are gonna flip out, dude. Now, okay, let's talk about this particular matchup. Last week, we saw a lot of cool stuff. You know, I mean, I think last week in general, we had like, what, 14, 15 TvTs back to back to back. And what we saw a lot of was, well, quite frankly, almost no mech play at all. And that's fine, because mech I don't feel is very strong in this matchup. But I do like when people go for the 4 Hellbat drop early on, or Widowmine Harass. Like, those are, I feel, 2 of the stronger openings in this than anything else. Like, forget Reapers, forget like a 2-Rax push or something. I really love those styles in this matchup.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting to see the 2 different choices you really have in TvT right now. If you go for some type of economic build, you are opening yourself up to the vulnerabilities of some pressure coming from the sky in the form of whatever it may be. You know, Hellbats, of course, very common. Widowmine's so common. Haven't seen a lot of Banshee play really in TvT recently, but I'm sure that could still be very effective, especially trying to deal against, you know, these small units that are coming out here. Is going to be Reaper first out of Polt. I'm not sure if he did this a lot last week, but on the other side of the field here, Dragon is going for Marines.
It was always one Reaper, and really no more than that. And I like that, because the Reaper, for the gas cost, okay, questionable, but the speed of the Reaper, it's just the best damn scout you can get your hands on. And I like what Dragon's done here, actually, if you guys will take notice. Ooh, trying to deal with this SCV real quick. He did put a supply depot over here in the lower left very early on. He does not want to get caught off guard by anything, and by having this vision here, drops will be spotted that much earlier.
Yeah, and this is a super important scout here from Polt to see that the factory is going down before any type of inkling of a command center. And in response, he's actually dropping down an additional barracks of his own. So I'm very curious to see what Polt's going to be doing here. And he's continuing to make Reapers here, Rifkin. We did see that crazy game with him versus Joxy where it was basically just Reaper versus Reaper. But right up the ramp here, the teammates are going to greet that Reaper right in the face.
And that's
some shots.
Yeah, I mean, like a Reaper 1-on-1 does a lot of damage to Marine, but correctly microed plus the high ground advantage, really nicely done. Now, Aquilon Waste, guys, the reason you don't go heavy Reapers on this is because this is the only area you can hop into the base. Reapers can't hop up 2 levels, so Dragon, just the positioning of those Marines, magnificent. But 2 more Reapers on the way, and Polt, I've never seen him go this heavy on Reapers to him. This could get messy quick.
It could get messy quick, but, you know, Dragon's reaction here is to go for Hellions, and if we consider the fact that Reapers don't really do as much damage as they did in Wings of Liberty, it could be a good response. 2 Hellions versus 2 Reapers, if they get them lined up, could be effective, but the Reapers are going to move here. Good micro here from Polt, microing back that Reaper who is damaged, and he's going to start regenerating that in just a few minutes, but the Hellions are about to pop out.
I think Dragon
actually gets out of there so quickly.
I think Dragon was really anticipating air to come this game, not heavy Reaper pressure like this. 4 Reapers on the field. Polt has stopped production, but that's to get add-ons on. We'll see if he continues with it, but 4 Reapers can do some damage to him.
They seriously can, and considering that they can just heal right back up just as Polt has done, this is a very, very big threat. Back at home here, Polt's content to really just contain Dragon at this point. He's got his command center going up, and here we go. It is basically just a 1-1-1 build out of Dragon, but he doesn't have the critical amount of units out, and if he gets a focus fire down on these Widowmines, could be devastating. But Polt, yep, just well, actually,
there we go. Repairing the Hellions, definitely a good choice. He needs to keep them alive, as they will take on these Reapers, but not if he engages like this. Oh no!
Oh, and this is a very vulnerable point in Dragon's base here. Widowmine is not in position. The Reapers are being microed back so effectively. Polt.
I can't believe any of them haven't died yet, though. They're all on their last legs of health. 2 health. 2 go down. Dragon losing
every single Hellion in the process as well, Rifkin, and this is carnage.
I'm surprised the Widowmines were never repositioned either. Dragon could have burned them immediately. Not a bad choice, but I mean, really ineffective in the end. Now 2 Widowmines dropped, 1 in the main, 1 in the natural, will be a really good response to this for Dragon. But let's see, how many SCVs? 7 workers picked off through that. That's going to hurt quite a bit, especially because Polt already has his 2nd command center up.
Well, you know, Dragon is following this up with Cloaked Banshees, and as I mentioned before, there are some opportunities here for Banshees to do damage in the TvT matchup still, and especially if you're forcing Polt to burn scans in this regard, he's going to have way less minerals than he could potentially have off of his 2 bases, but looking at the incomes right now, Polt is crushing Dragon. 1,000 to 700, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you gotta keep in mind, Polt's stuck on Barracks 6 for now. I mean, Dragon going with the Cloaked Banshee might actually work out pretty decently for him, because if he burns the scans on these Widow Mines and drops a Mule afterward, there won't be available for the Banshee follow-up.
One Widow Mine is actually going to go down on a Mule that was just about to be completely out of the game, and only a Marine is going to fall in the main base. That was not the most effective.
His arm!
Here for Dragon.
His arm went so far, too. But there we go, scans have been burned at this point.
I mean, Dragon is following this up back at home with the command center, so he does still want to stay in this game after this harassment comes in, but...
I like this, though. The Hellion Banshee follow-up to this is going to be pretty good. The bunker's going to be annoying to get around, but of course Hellions move fast enough, they just run right by it. The Banshee, okay, there are turrets coming down from Polt.
Yeah, you got to think about it in this sense that the Widow Mines have forced these turrets out, which is now going to negate the effects of the Banshee, but big boost should be coming in here just a second.
There we go.
Hellions, yep.
Marines are going to be looking to respond to this Banshee, but that's not going to be the right choice. There we go, coming back for the Hellions. Dragon's got to pick up and get out of there if he can.
Not going to happen, Rifkin.
Not with the boost on cooldown.
Yep, and there's a Reaper coming back in the main base of Dragon here for Polt to scout out what exactly he's doing. He's seen the fact that the command center has not been completed yet, and he sees also that there's not a whole lot of units back at Dragon's base.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
But he got another scan. I mean, like, the thing is, there's no question about it. Polt is definitely ahead of this time. Dragon, though, I feel unless he does some damage, like, right now, or goes for something super risky, like a 3rd command center, he's going to be so far behind for the rest of this game.
I don't know if he can pull off a 3rd command center at this point. Look how many units are on the field for Polt. Sure, he doesn't have his combat shields yet, and these Marines will be 2-shotted by the Banshee, but the moment that he gets that scan down, stim forward, this is not going Dragon's way.
Well, the stim actually is going to hurt a little bit. The medevacs are... Okay, never mind. I thought they were just starting, but they are popping here in just a second.
He's got them reactored. He's got them queued up. Rifkin, if you look at the units lost tab here, 1,980 resources lost for Dragon, while only 750 have been lost for Polt. Also consider the fact that Polt took his command center significantly quicker than Dragon in this game.
Oh, it's been up for like 5 minutes now. Yeah.
He's still trying to be as aggressive as possible here, and if he gets these Hellions in a position across the field and picks off Marines as they're traveling on the ground, well, of course, they're not going to be traveling on the ground.
Oh, medevacs.
They are being escorted by boosted medevacs across the field.
Can Dragon find this, though? He's got to... Because the thing is, you can actually deal with this really easy if you catch the Marines coming out 1 by 1, just one shot with the Hellions, but once they're all unloaded, it becomes increasingly difficult to deal with.
He's going to have tanks, though, so if he can get the tank in a good position with siege mode, he should be okay, but it does look like he is going to be moving into the natural area as Polt is moving into the main base. I mean, that single Marauder 2 is going to do a lot of damage to these Hellions.
If Dragon had a Viking right now, he would be so happy, but unfortunately, Banshees, as good as they are, can't shoot up.
To Dragon's benefit, Polt hasn't gone for a 3rd command center either, so...
And he's denying this command center again. Dragon has not been mining for so long at this point. He will clean up this drop, though. Hellions have got to be a little careful. They don't want to lose. Okay, there we go. Backing off. And
that was a decent trade there for Dragon. He may have lost a little bit more Hellions than he would have liked to, but considering his composition is pretty mech forward here at this point, Rifkin, that was a pretty good proof to the fact that his composition's slightly better than Polt's at this point. Polt's going to have to wait for a few more upgrades to finish up before he can go in for another type of drop. Well, never mind. He's just going to fill up 2 more medevacs and say, if I didn't get you with that many units the first time, I'm just going to send more your way now.
Well, the thing that's really nice,
either,
if Dragon can pick off the Marines, forget the Marauders. If he picks off the Marines, there's nothing left, and the one Banshee will hold.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely 100% agree. And there are siege tanks, too. So this, Polt without having any type of upgrades to his infantry armor, this could be pretty effective.
This is what Dragon needs. If Dragon can hold this, he'll be back in the game. There's no question about it. But this is going to be the darndest hardest fight he's ever fought in his life.
Army supply here, 60 to 35.
Oh, second siege tank not sieged. Hellions getting stuck on the ramp as well. But look at this! He's shredding the Marines, and this is what I was talking about. He just needs to pick this.
Should have pulled SCVs in that situation, I feel like, to try to defend, but of course the Banshee will rule the day now that every single one of the Marines go down.
Medevacs are going to fall as well. There's a single Marauder left, but the Vikings, that is exactly the type of engage Dragon needed. Now, Polt's definitely still severely ahead, but this is the sort of thing that gets you back in the game, those small engagements. But the third base for... Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I think the type of trade that Dragon needed there was basically no units lost to killing every single thing of Polt. But looking at him here,
Yeah.
Polt was taking a third during that engagement, Rifkin, and back at home, he's adding on additional barracks. He's just consistently pumping out units. His siege tank count is higher than Dragon's at this point. I mean, Dragon's going to need a little bit more than that, and definitely a miracle to come back in this game.
Tanks and Widow Mines. Combination of the two would be his best bet, but unfortunately we don't have Widow Mines. Just tanks, and that could really, really throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, and with more and more stimmed units moving across the field, I don't know. I mean, hell, that's sure. They can do damage if the units come on top of them, but the range of the Marines, the range of the Marauders,
and the stim lets you kite them all day long as well.
Absolutely.
Vikings coming in here, going to try and snipe off these medevacs, but again,
Leg.
yeah, not sure that's what's needed. Dragon, he needs to fight by the tank. He's doing a great job of using it, but he's not fighting close enough to it, so it's not hitting a lot of the units here. Scan going down, Dragon coming in with the SCV. He's going to do what he can, but he can't lose anything. And
well, it's
at this point,
Marines around SCVs that are trying to down Marauders and looking at that income. Rifkin, Polt is off the chain.
That's
units
pretty much the nail in the coffin for Dragons.
So good.
Rest in peace, Mighty Warrior. You played well. But Polt, as everyone said, Polt's just on another level.